Welcome back to Florida Powerboat Club's channel here on YouTube. Stu Jones along with Ryan McCoy here in the Pompano Beach studio as we rejoin the Florida Powerboat Club members for another adventure. This time it's the annual Miami Boat Show poker run from Miami to Key Largo. And this, of course, is an annual event that falls on the heels of the Miami International Boat Show, giving everyone a chance to start heading south for a winter escape down to the Florida Keys in tropical paradise. And we are about to rejoin our members for another round as they depart from Haulover Marine Center in North Miami. And before we get started, let's thank our sponsors. Our 2022 series sponsors include Blackwater Boats and their sister company Deep Impact Custom Boats and their authorized sales center Plantation Boat Mart, Mystic Powerboats, Cigarette Racing Team and their authorized sales center Top Gun Yachts, cigarette dealer Chief Marine Group, Midnight Express Powerboats, Big Thunder Marine, Concept Boats, Performance Boat Center, Mercury Racing, and Florida Powerboat Club's longest running sponsor, Nortec High Performance Boats. And also joining us as feature sponsors for the Miami Boat Show Poker Run are the following companies: DCB Performance Boats, Legend Marine Group, dealers for Nortec, MTI, Marine Technology Inc., and Manatee Marine, dealers for H-Craft Powerboats. And here we are now at Haulover Marine Center, and it's called the calm before the craziness, and I only say that craziness in the best possible context because it's actually a lot of fun to go out on a poker run with the Florida Powerboat Club. We can see it's pretty quiet here. The big barn door is barely open, and that forklift is going to be peeking its nose out shortly as they begin to launch more powerboats into the water. But you can see that overnight here a lot of boats have gathered, and there's not really a lot of room to be putting any more boats here as we slowly prepare for today's start. You know, it's only about 8:30 a.m. at the present time. We're departing at somewhere close to 10:30, 11, so we've got a couple of hours to get the boats wiped down and a few more of them put into the water. And of course, eventually, Jackie and her crew are going to arrive here with some breakfast and some poker run bags for checking in. And getting a little TLC from this boat detailer is this brand new MTI V50 center console. And of course, it will be on display down at the Key Largo Poker Run Village at Gilbert's. And this is an annual event where we actually give the manufacturers and the dealers a chance to showcase the boats. A little different format than what they've done here at the Miami Boat Show, which is to have the boats on display either in water or on land or in the convention center. And what will be very different about our format down in the Keys is that they'll be able to tie them up at Gilbert's and showcase not one but two or three of their newest models and have a perfect playground right on their doorstep for doing sea trials and getting prospective new buyers out on the water to test these new models. And it is apparent now that the bikinis are coming out, and that means it's going to be a beautiful day here in the middle of February, where the rest of the country is under a blanket of snow, and here we are going out in our bikinis to have fun down in the Florida Keys. One thing I might mention, though, as you look across the marina, you see those long piers. They're all a part of the boat ramp system here at Haulover Park, and we're going to be losing that, or essentially we probably have lost it already, where the county has decided to come in and do a major construction project by replacing all of those ramps and piers and raising the floodplain of the parking lot, which constantly gets flooded day by day at high tides and after heavy rain. So this is something that the county has long wanted to do, a project that is much needed, and it's going to be affecting our activities here at Haulover Marine Center, starting with the Key West Poker Run this fall and going right on through 2023 for several months, possibly a year, to get that project completed. And that is why we're going to have to say goodbye to this Haulover Marine Center as a staging location for at least the next year or so. And of course, the only exception to that scenario is going to be the regular full-time storage customers here at Haulover Marine Center who have a storage contract and keep their boat here, and they'll be able to continue as business as usual. And FPC will continue to use this location as a check-in location for registered participants. And we're going to kick off the poker card handoff segment here at Haulover Marine Center's fuel dock with John Wittenberger Jr. and the lovely Miss Natalie on this 30-foot Spectre Team Bad Decisions. So here's a guy who's been really busy. John Wittenberger confessed that in the last couple of weeks he towed 3 boats from New Jersey, his Spectre, his dad's Cigarette, and Joe Gallo's 50 SL all the way down for the poker run. And we're going to see a wide variety of boats right out of the box here as now this big 46-foot Rough Rider comes in. Michael and Brenda Caravetta, all the way from Canada, who have had to sit out now for about 2 years because of the whole pandemic and the lockdown on the Canadian borders. So they're happy to be out enjoying this boat, which was, by the way, completely redone over the last year or two with new Mercury Racing 1350s and a fresh paint job. Well, guys, if you want to thank anybody for a wonderful start to the day, let's make it David Landsman, as these two lovely crew members reach out and get their poker card. And that is a 39 MTI, which he ordered a year ago, a 390X with Mercury Racing 450s. And what a beautiful ride this is. He took delivery over the winter months and got really right down to the program with the winter poker run in January, and now here in February on the Miami Boat Show run. And much like that previous 390X, now this Wright Performance 360 cat owned by Dan Knox from Texas, Team Hard Knox, is another twofer. He did the January winter poker run down to Isla Morada, and here he is a month later joining us for the Miami run. So that was Michael Caravetta in the Cigarette, and then David Landsman in the MTI, and now Dan Knox in the Wright Performance, all of them doing 2 in a row. And a very special welcome to our latest newcomers, Mike and Kristen Stordahl, with their brand new 2021 MTI 390X. They just purchased the boat, Twin Mercury Racing 450Rs. Yeah. And it was a great vantage point for me sitting here in a 34 MTI shooting this with my iPhone as the boats came up to the dock one by one. So now a closer shot of the crew for Michael Stordahl and family, and what they said in their video bio. What do they love about powerboating? He said, great family time. They live at Lotto full-time, and Michael tells us that he trailered the boat by himself all the way to Florida to join us for the poker run and the MTI fun run. And now we've got this very popular skater, Bo and Tiffany Renfro from Georgia, this 36 with Mercury Racing 700s. And I'd like to say that Team Dirty Money is a very, very active team with FPC, doing as many events as they can. I want to say they get in at least 5 or 6 poker runs a year with us, and that's what I call loyalty. Yeah, baby. And you can see why I love this segment so much. Just a chance to get a closer look at all of the teams and some smiling faces from those FPC girls as the teams one by one come up for their lucky poker card voucher. Remember that we don't give out cards anymore. We give out a voucher which you turn in for your actual playing hand at the Friday night party. So let's welcome back Daniel and Becky Cates from Georgia in their 33-foot Renegade, powered by Triple Mercury Racing 400Rs. And it's not their first rodeo. They have joined us multiple times. And no, don't ever put your leg out like that, young man. That's a good way to break a foot or twist an ankle. And it is John Wittenberger Sr. now and his crew, and looking mighty fine. Never let us down on their crew as the beautiful Tori picks up that poker card here on this 39-foot Cigarette, a boat that we've seen a lot of since he completely redid this boat. New paint, interior instruments, and look at those sporty decals on the Mercury 350 cowlings. And time to say hello to Zach Polsky and his crew all the way from New Jersey, and Team Seaduction, a brand new Midnight Express 43 Solstice, the newest model. And it has got a lot of features, a beautiful boat, all red with those, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Mercury Racing 450s. Guys, that is the ultimate ride right there. And I know that Zach is working closely with Midnight Express, and he's going to have this boat on display at the Poker Run Village. And another big, beautiful center console coming into frame. This time it's a concept built in Miami, a 4400 with Quad Mercury Racing 400Rs, and a boat that we have seen in the past. In fact, the owner of the boat has lent it to Eric Avila and Team Concept to put it on display because it made a big hit here last year. It's certainly one of the nicest 44s ever built, in my opinion, with those beautiful silver, red, and gray graphics. And very happy to welcome back Charlie and Michelle Mattingly, always putting on a great show on this 48-foot MTI powered by Mercury Racing 1350s. Charlie has made it very clear that this is one of the most incredible boats he's ever owned with its carbon fiber layup. He says it's at the top of the food chain. Indeed it is. The couple hails from Maryland, but they came over to join us from Cape Coral, Florida. And it looks like Frankie Lovato has finished his fueling session, now pulling up for the poker card is, well, wait a minute, He's got a dude picking up the poker card when he's got two beautiful bikini girls in the boat who could have done it just as easily. Points off, Frank. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to dock you 3 points for that. And it's another cigarette, but this time a big center console, a 41-foot GTR. Paul Eisen from Kentucky and team still smoking. And he is another loyal club member who's 2 for 2. Started the year off with the winter poker run in January, where we froze our butts off. And here he is now in much warmer temperatures for the February Miami run. And let's say hi now to Robert McAtee in his Nortec 390 Sport. This one's powered by Triple Mercury Racing 400Rs. And he is a long way from home, all the way in Oklahoma, as his lovely crew member picks up the card. And being that far away and managing to get all the way to Florida for this event might qualify this team for the farthest traveled award. And here's a team that we've seen a lot of on these poker runs over the years. Another team from New Jersey, Chris and Quinn Lamort in their 36-foot skater. As we get a closer look now as they pull up along the dockside to get their card, you can see now it's an old school skater, 2000 model year, 22 years old. Imagine that, but listen to these 700s. And let's say hi now to Tommy Archer and his crew, another team from New Jersey and another redone skater. This 41 has been completely refit and repowered with Mercury Racing 1100s. Tom got bit by the poker run bug about 3 years ago when he attended in his 38 Baja Special, so this is quite the upgrade from that Baja. Well, they say that birds of a feather flock together, and that is 3 for 3. That's 3 skaters in a row, 2 from New Jersey and 1 from New York, as we catch up with Team Awesome Motorsports, Joey Castellana, who usually attends this with his dad. Let's listen to these Sterlings rumble. Okay, let's give center consoles their fair time on the screen now as David Carey pulls up in Team Punch It, 37-foot Midnight Express, powered by Quad Mercury Racing 450s, and always a lovely crew. This time, not so much quantity, but more so quality, as these two lovely ladies in their red bikinis match this interior perfectly. Nice job, David. Well, guys, time to get fast and furious. Going to be some short clips here as we cross over now, catching up with Ed Champion in this 38 Donzi ZRC. And a little offshore play with Michael and Navita McClellan all the way from Illinois with this 37-foot Active Thunder. And with a pair of Mercury Racing 525s, this is a great offshore V-bottom. And let's welcome now Les and Kayla Voudry, Team Afterworks, all the way from Missouri, a 2014 MTI SV42. And it looks like it's got a different color and paint scheme. That's exactly right, because it's done by Team Afterworks. That, in fact, is the name of the boat and also the name of Les's company. He painted the boat himself, and he made the Miami Boat Show Poker Run his bucket list event, so we can check off that box now. And now making that turn into Government Cut, you can see Miami's South Beach off to the right. That's Fisher Island off to the left. And, of course, going to be a lot of freighter and container ship traffic going in through Government Cut. It's a busy port. And we're catching up with this group now. They're all kind of running together. You could see the change in the seas almost immediately once they got in out of the coastal waters and into these protected bay waters. And I think that's going to fare well for everybody. I think we all love to have a smooth ride, and that's how it's going to be all the way now from Miami down to Key Largo today as we travel on Biscayne Bay. And here, of course, is that landmark shot from Rickenbacker Causeway as the boats slow down to pass safely underneath. And they're going to be setting their sights now on Grove Harbor Marina, where they're going to pick up the next poker card. And now here is exactly what I was just talking about. You can see the difference in the waterways already, the calm, smooth waters in the bay, as we now catch up with Robert McAtee in his Nortec 390 Sport, enjoying the ride as he heads towards Grove Harbor. And we wanted to let you guys hear the roar of those Mercury Racing 860s, Team Big Thunder Marine, Ed Champion at the helm of this 38 Donzi ZRC. And I am riding along, my first chance to ride a ZRC with this kind of power. And now just a quick flyover here with the drone here at Grove Harbor Marina. I believe this timing was just a little earlier before the boats started coming in for the checkpoint. Kind of a beauty shot as you see how nicely laid out this marina is with their in-water slips. I believe, close to 100 or more slips. And then, of course, the floating dock alongside the bulkhead where they do all of their staging for the poker runs. You can see Team Black Diamond, and there's Tom Abraham's MTI, a brand new DCB joining us for its first time, and a couple of little center consoles and a very big center console. Of course, Team 6 Carat, Derek Walkup and his crew, they're going to be joining us today with the 3 black boats, heading down at least for the lunch run to join us and then going to be coming back. But nice to have them in town all the way from Oklahoma. They keep the boats in Destin, Florida in the summertime and here at Grove Harbor in the winter months. And it goes without saying that the 59 Tirana is the flagship of the cigarette racing fleet, the largest boat they currently manufacture. And at the opposite end of the spectrum from that big Tirana is this Costa custom catamaran, easy for you to say, but these twin Mercury 300Rs make this the perfect ride. So at more of the entry-level poker run bracket here for somebody that wants a super cool and fast center console that's also got the shallow draft and incredible fishability for the guy who wants to do a little bit of both, poker runs or fishing. And here now we welcome Kirk Anderson all the way from Missouri with the Sunsation 40 CCX representing Performance Boat Center. It's got triple Mercury Racing 450s and, of course, color-matched Mercury Racing engine cowlings to that paint job. Sunsation, of course, masterful at blinging up their boats so nicely. And now a great vantage point as we start doing the first poker card. Michael Tandoy, Team Out of Control, 40-foot skater that, like that Laughing Giraffe we saw earlier, completely redone, refit, repowered, repainted, everything new, and a great-looking skater at that. And, of course, special thanks to Team Grove Harbor with the guys on the dock with their long PVC poles and boxing mitts attached, a design that has stood the test of time. And once again, it's Frank Lovato from New Jersey in this Cigarette 42X. No excuses pulling up for their poker card. And as I mentioned earlier in the episode, when you got a couple of bikini ladies on the boat, it is an absolute must to send one of those ladies up to get the poker card. So we're going to have to take 3 points off. Once again, you're 6 points down now, Frank. You're going to have a little bit of trouble gaining those back, but you do have a beautiful cigarette, so all is not lost. We might get some of those points back. And one more time with Mike and Kristen Stordahl all the way from Lotto with this MTI 390X. Funny storyline, one of their sons brought a friend with him that had never done a poker run. Can you imagine now? He's on this boat seeing this for the first time. Absolutely blown away. And it seems as though we are continuing to follow the same pack of boats that we caught earlier at the Hullover checkpoint. Now back with Charlie and Michelle Mattingly on this big 48 MTI. And very kind words from Charlie in his video bio. He said it takes a lot to put on events of this magnitude, and Stu and Jackie always kill it. Well, thanks, Charlie. We appreciate those comments, and I promise we never get tired of hearing stuff like that. And from a old generation 48 to the new generation 39, yes, indeed, David Landsman is in a boat that is wildly popular now. This 390X with Mercury Racing 450s is really taking the poker run circuit by storm. But I'm not thinking about the boat right now, guys. No, I'm thinking about red and pink bikini tops, because after all, that's what it's all about, guys. The boats are beautiful, but the ladies win every time. And here now we see a very busy little intersection coming out of Grove Harbor as this sailboat crosses over. But obviously David is paying attention like he always does. He's a very responsible driver, and by the way, a good captain too, because look at everybody is now putting on their life jackets. Big thumbs up for Team Game Changer. And it is one more time with Michael and Brenda Caravetta from Canada. Team Rough Rider is this 46 cigarette powered by Mercury Racing 1350s, and a beautiful new paint job as this crew member reaches out, and yes, she gets the card safely as Michael now turns the boat away from the dock and setting things up for the ride now. Only about 45 miles to Key Largo on calm bay waters, so I'm just praying for a few choppy wakes or anything to get some air under the hull of this Rough Rider for some great photos. And a very special welcome to new members in the club, Mauricio, or Franco as we know him, and Angie, his wife, Vivanco, all the way from Arizona. And this is a brand new DCB M44 Mercury Racing 1350 dual cowl motors from the California-based builder DCB Racing. And of course, this is the first appearance. This boat came all the way from California just in time to attend this Poker Run event. Notable features, of course, is that open bow, and what you can't see, we might get a closer look later, is the exposed carbon finish on the M44. And this boat is truly one of a kind, and we are very fortunate here at FPC to have the Miami Boat Show Poker Run as the debut event for this new ride. And once again, on the opposite end of the spectrum, again, this 26 Costa Custom Cat is really a very cool ride at 26 feet, but don't underestimate the performance of this ride with those Mercury Racing 300Rs. This boat will run well into the 70s. I hear rumors possibly close to 80. And of course, you've got that super cool driving position up top for fishing, of course. But today it's all about poker runs, and this lovely lady got some assistance from the dude, so no points off, because he only went up there to make sure she got the card and didn't fall off the boat. Thank God for that, because we'd like to see a little more of her throughout the weekend. And now another team from New Jersey, Team Never Enough, Jim Johnson in this awesome 2011 50-foot Nortec Roadster. It's powered by Quad. You ready for this? Mercury Racing 1200. So yes, do the math, guys. 4,800 horsepower on this big Nortec beast, and that is a rare find. We don't see many boats like this around anymore. I'm not even going to think about what the fuel consumption is, but boy, she looks good and sounds awesome. Well, we can't pick up any audio now because this is a drone shot, but we certainly are going to hear more of this ride a little later in the series. Well, it's another new DCB, but not a team that's new to the club. This is Greg Harris and Yvonne Ailman in their brand new DCB M37R. Again, another brand new model. And by the way, no points off for the dude getting a card. Why is it? Because the only lady on board is driving. And this shot proves beyond a shadow of a doubt why I love the drone. To be able to capture the fun and the excitement of the Poker Run checkpoint as the lovely Jessica, whom many of us know from Performance Boat Center. She's the first mate to Rusty Williams at the helm. I'm guessing that's going to be Rusty's demo boat for maybe doing a few rides for those of us who might be interested in buying this Wright Performance 36-foot cat. It is one sexy ride. Well, that pretty much wraps up a really nice card segment here at Grove Harbor Marina. And now the tradition is to just idle out through this, what we call the Seaplane Channel, out into the Biscayne Bay area. Now, you can see there's a lot of sailboats in the area, so it's nice to be careful. Getting started off with Brett Menier from Performance Boat Center. Came all the way from Missouri to join us. Well, actually, he just did the Miami Boat Show. That was about a 5 or 6 day stint, and a couple days off in between getting ready for the run. Now taking this 41-foot Nighthawk. That'll be his cigarette demo ride for the weekend. And another Performance Boat Center entry. This is Kirk Anderson from Missouri in his Sunsation 40 CCX we saw earlier. Made his Poker Run debut back on the Key West run just a few months earlier. And a boat we haven't seen on this event yet. This is Gerard and Catherine Rufinach from Pennsylvania. I hope I didn't butcher your name, Jerry. But I feel like this is an update to what the Pursuit Boat Company is all about, because I imagine a fishing center console, but now we've got this nice hardtop cruiser with a forward bow, open bow, a triple Yamaha power, and a great running machine cruising along here nicely at 50. And finally catching up now with John Wittenberger Sr. in this 39-foot cigarette triple Worx 350s. On the Rocks 3 is a boat that he seems to be enjoying. He's had several boats with the club over the years, and he's been involved in the club for probably 20 years now. Got the ladies on board with big smiles on their faces as they enjoy this beautiful ride through Biscayne Bay. And you remember that where everyone's from. This is a team that's from New Jersey and mostly along the Northeast, so they're happy to be out of the cold and enjoying this escape to paradise in the Florida Keys. And now this, what we call a stationary segment, where the helicopter just kind of sits there and hovers and waits for everybody to catch up, and we do these little flybys and get 2 or 3 seconds of each boat. But really what it does is it shows how well behaved everybody is enjoying this ride, and giving everyone a lot of space and a lot of room to find their comfortable cruise and really just enjoy what appears to be a perfect day of boating for several teams. So we are now going to jump ahead to Gilbert's Key Largo, where a lot of teams have already arrived, and catch up with some of our manufacturing sponsors and take a closer look at some of these new performance boats from the leaders in our industry. While everyone knows about Concept Boats, they're one of the first companies to come out with a mammoth center console. More than 10 years ago, they introduced their 4400 model. Well, now that is the most popular and, of course, the flagship for Concept Boats, and want to begin by welcoming Concept as one of our new Florida Powerboat Club series sponsors, and that means they're jumping on board and getting into the mix and trying to get out to every event. Now here at the Miami Boat Show Poker Run, they put on a great display. They had, at one point, they had about 5 boats here. Right now they've got 3 Concept 4400 models, one of them with quad 450 Mercs, the other 2 with 400s. That seems to be the power of choice, and of course, you can get a Concept built whatever way you want. Custom built. They've got an open edition and they've got a full cabin edition. You can do the power options that you decide, and you can do all your own custom interior and custom paint. You look back a few episodes ago on the Florida Powerboat Club's YouTube channel, and we saw the Concept Owners Rally down to Key West, which we did earlier this year. So thanks again to Concept for joining us here at the Miami Boat Show Poker Run and putting on a great show. And just to punctuate what I said earlier about Concept and doing their owners rally to Key West, they do it every July. And I know they're planning a big event for 2023. So if you own a Concept, I'd be marking those dates down on my calendar right about now. Back to this 4400 that was actually loaned to Eric Avila at Concept from one of his customers that made its debut here a year earlier at the Miami Boat Show Poker Run. I love the black bottom on this 4400 as well as the custom paint. It's one of my favorite Concept 4400s, and I think it won the best paint and graphics a year earlier. And here's another Concept 4400, a open model, this one with Mercury Racing 450s. It made its debut at the Emerald Coast Powerboat Week in 2021. Owners Don and Donald Haddon made a big step from a 30-foot center console they owned previously. And back on the docks at Gilbert's Resort, we caught up with Tom Stewart from MTI. Let's see what he has to show us.
My name's Tom Stewart. I'm with MTI. We're based out of St. Louis, Missouri. And we have lots of boats on display down here at Gilbert's. And we're having a great time. Weather's perfect. And it's a good show for us. We came last year and had a lot of business. And it's good for everybody to be able to walk around the docks and see the boats up close in person and without the crowds of the boat show. So we think it's a great event. The current boat that we're on now is a SV42 center console. It's a very popular model for us. It was the first center console that we produced as a company, and we've since moved up to a 50 and a 57. For catamarans, we do anywhere from a 34, we can go all the way up to a 52. Our most popular models right now are the 390X outboard cats, and that was a model that a lot of people that may have wanted to do performance boating but was a little scared of the cost or maintenance of one of the bigger boats can get into, and they can get in a 390X and they just turn the key and go, and the whole family can go. It's a timid boat, runs really well, performance is outstanding, but it's easy to drive and very safe to drive, and the families like it. So it's a good hot rod boat for everybody to go run around in.
Well, guys, time flies when we're having fun, and we've had plenty of fun on this episode, too, with complete coverage of the 27th Annual Miami Boat Show Poker Run, brought to you by the Florida Powerboat Club. And I believe it's an event that has a little bit of something for everybody. Amazing powerboats, big horsepower, and beautiful ladies in bikinis, all wrapped around in tropical paradise, guys. It doesn't get much better than that. And the good news is we've got 2 more episodes just around the corner and a whole calendar of 2022 FPC poker runs just ahead. So you can't afford to miss another episode. Be sure to like our episode, hit the subscribe button, and punch that notification bell so you'll get an update every time a new episode is released. Be sure to check out the website at flpowerboat.com for all of the details about upcoming poker run events in 2021, as well as membership information. You can follow us on Facebook at Florida Powerboat Club, and you can follow us on Twitter and on these Instagram pages. Thanks to all of our viewers for your wonderful comments on our page, and you guys know who you are, and I really do appreciate that. But if you have questions or comments you want to direct to me specifically, please use my personal email at stu@flpowerboat.com. I check that daily, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We're going to sign off for now. This is Stu Jones, along with our producer Ryan McCoy, in the Pompano Beach studio. Have fun out there, guys. Be safe on the waterways. Wear your life jackets when the time is right, and always respect your fellow boaters. Bye for now.